Assalamu alaikum, guys. This is your nightcap with Khadijah and Saleha live on Ramadan FM. I mean, we're just two sisters here wanting to bring you some fresh, real, and relatable content, inshallah. And on this episode, we want to discuss a few things from like the struggles of being a practicing Muslim in this era. Stuff like hijab struggles, like faith expectations, how to battle your nafs. And of course, we want to cover the situation in Palestine and how we're feeling about it, etc. Now, also towards the end of the show, our Palestinian friend will be joining us live from Jerusalem to share some authentic stories and give us a true Palestinian's perspective of life under occupation during a war. Now, we'd love for you all to get involved, reach out, ask some questions. So just feel free to drop us a text on 077 488 55055. That's 077 488 55055, or call us on 0116 4822 086. That's 0116 4822 086 with any queries and thoughts you may have, because we'd love to have it. Anyway, I think I'm ready for some tea.
Oh, tea's not even here yet, guys. I think we should really hone in to like sort of where this all started from and why we're here, what brings us here. So I think, I'm Sal, and you've met Khadijah.
Hi, Sal.
Hi, long time. I think once a week, twice a week, or whenever we can, when our work schedules allow, we kind of get together and we just discuss some deep some
real stuff. Yeah. This is like business as usual.
Yeah, literally.
But we're just sharing it. So this is really intimate, actually, and exclusive, guys.
Our deepest conversations being aired live. No, really, I think the purpose of it and our main intention is just to shine light on topics that women don't always have a space or a public space to speak about.
And that's not to say, guys, that this is just for women. It's for everyone. So everyone's going to be able to relate, inshallah. But yeah, as Sal said, we don't really have a platform like that. Thank you.
We have our teas.
We have teas. We're ready.
We are ready. I think since we sort of chin. Oh my God, Khadijah, Stugs. They can see it. You get a lot of our personality, a lot of our bants, but really, once we had the idea, once it sort of came out into the air or the conversation happened, we sort of went away and we asked people we know, really, like common struggles we face struggles as young Muslim women, hijab related.
Who are really trying to practice.
Like definitely on a journey.
We're trying to get on deen, deen over dunya vibes.
I think quick disclaimer though, we're not here like to advise anyone or to tell anybody what they should and shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, really, we're not preachers. Yeah.
Our experiences, and a lot of the experiences that we're going to discuss today are actually things that people we know have come to us and asked us to discuss, or actually I put it on my social media and I asked a few questions and I got so many responses. And I think we should just straight away delve into what people feel are common struggles for young Muslim women.
Just young Muslims.
Actually, yeah, definitely. One interesting one starting with hijab and our hijab journeys, and I think one we both struggled with was actually finding modest clothing from everyday normal shops.
Yeah, it's true. Like high street, But I feel like now, I think it's become a bit of a fashion to wear like baggy stuff. Whereas
back maybe 5-6 years ago, that was not the fashion. You had cutout pieces, low shoulders, and where do you fit in as a young Muslim? Whether you're a male or female, where do you fit in when it comes to modesty and when you're trying to buy things that are actually affordable? I think that's what it falls in. We're gonna go to high street shops to find affordable things, but finding modest pieces which people maybe even define as modest is really hard. And I think I needed to, when I started wearing hijab, I had to adjust my whole wardrobe. I
think I've always been an oversized kind of gal.
You have. No, 100%. You didn't have to adjust yours.
I wear baggy pants, baggy t-shirts, hoodies, trackies. That's kind of my vibes.
That's comfort, comfort. But I think when I made the decision, the main thing I did was go into my wardrobe and just throw out everything I couldn't pray Salah in. That was my rule. If I was out and about and I needed to pray Salah, why would I need extra clothing?
That's such a good point. Because it's if you can't pray in it, why are you wearing it?
Literally.
Do you know what I mean?
I think that's where it went down for me. But that's a common one. I think finding modest clothing. Where do you go, generally?
I'm not going to lie. ASOS, but XXL.
ASOS is a good one. I just don't have the time or the energy to sit there and scroll and yeah, no, I don't have time for that. But I think that's a very common one. And you received a common one from someone you know, like one of the struggles you received? And I think that was...
yes. Am I Muslim enough?
Yeah.
Which is crazy because like a lot of people will relate to that because like, okay, we might have sisters, like we might have friends and sisters who may not yet wear the hijab. But like, for me, it's like, who's anyone to judge?
But I think that's a struggle a lot of people face. Like if you're not wearing hijab, is she a good enough Muslim? Is she praying? Are they praying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Praying? People are so quick to judge, but no one knows what journey that person's taken.
And then also, we don't talk about it from an internal side as well. Like, if I'm not in hijab, am I Muslim enough? It causes the person themselves to have that complex.
Because it's true, you could be walking down the street, and if you're not wearing hijab, really and truly, people don't know that you're Muslim.
Yeah.
Whereas if we're walking down the street, alhamdulillah, like people know, they're Muslim. Like
it's an identifiable fact of
us. Do you know what I mean?
So I think that's where it comes down to really. But I don't believe that necessarily wearing hijab will make you more religious, more pious, or your intention. But I think we really do need to step away from that, because in the world we live in, there's going to be a lot of people, whether it's right or wrong, there's going to be a lot of people that are in hijab or out of hijab. I don't think it makes them less identifiable. They might have a purer heart than me.
It's true,
but I think that's a big one, especially for our age, because as you get older, you kind of, I don't know, for me personally, the older I got to this thing like, all right, I'm getting old now. Like, I should be in hijab. It's a farz. It's a farz of my religion. I should be in. What am I still faffing around for? But then equally, I live in a day and age where hijab, is it fashionable? Is it not? And
does
then I
it
have
fit
to
in? Like, what will people say?
One thing I actually really struggled with, I had to accept the shape of my head.
She's got an egghead, guys.
No, but like, you know,
I'm joking.
It exposes the shape, doesn't it? Really and truly. Like, am I wearing a hat? Am I wearing a woolly hat? Am I wearing my hijab like this? Or am I just having it simple?
And just a quick one for like people, again, guys, we're not preachers or anything. We're not trying to do none of that yet. But I kind of had an excuse for the longest time that I'm not going to wear hijab because my lifestyle doesn't fit that, or it doesn't match that. And when I say that, I mean like, I used to listen to music, or I had a bit of a potty mouth, etc. And then like I had like just a feeling, like this was last year, February, alhamdulillah for that feeling. I had a feeling and I kind of just went with it. I'm like, if I don't like, delve into this feeling now, what if it doesn't come again?
Yeah.
So I didn't think about my potty mouth. I didn't think about the fact that I listened to music or whatever I was on, I just put that hijab on the next day. I walked into work and I was like, guys, this is my new identity.
I remember you saying
These are
that
like,
to me.
oh no, because I got like, mashallah, my hair. Mashallah, that's it.
Mashallah.
But these are like, can you wear it one day, not the other? I'm like, nah, bro.
We can choose, Fridays we
just
don't wear.
Do you know what I mean? Like, are you okay?
But it's crazy you said that.
Anyway, I didn't stop myself from taking that leap just because my lifestyle, to be honest, in all honesty, for over a year, I've noticed like how much, like I don't have a potty mouth anymore, alhamdulillah. Like you'll hardly hear me like effing and blinding.
We can have a conversation around my daughter now without me having to smack her, like language. Because
there was once upon a time where it didn't match up, but like I realized that you don't need to wait for your, to fix yourself to start that journey.
That's definitely an internal struggle. I think someone picked up on it on my stories. Someone actually wrote, when you wear hijab, you can't, like, people feel as though if you have a bad habit, you're not entitled to wearing the hijab. But I think you really like almost reversed it, where you used your hijab to inspire you and use it as a conscious effort to consistently do better.
Yeah, it makes you think twice. It's like before you do any act, it's like, bruv, can I actually be doing this? No, you can't. But not because of your hijab, but just think about Allah, innit? Like really and truly.
It really makes you double think everything you're about to say, everything 100%. You're about to think, because that's your outward identity as a Muslim. You're then representing your religion. Whether you're dressed Islamically modest as a man or as a female, everyone's going to know that you're a Muslim, and how you present yourself, how you talk, how you handle people, how you smile, etc. It's all going to be
possible,
Exactly. And I feel like that's actually very inspiring, and something I definitely really admired when you went into your hijab
You've been
journey.
able to watch that because obviously you've been there through this journey. So what are your thoughts? Like, did you notice a change from 100%, me?
Like, I was literally just going on to that. Like, it's been such a great journey to be a part of, to see you conscious in all of your actions. Because this is like, our conversations, we will talk about our deeper struggles with one another.
Yeah.
Like I will tell you what I feel is wrong with me, and you will tell me what you feel is wrong with you. And we'll also sit there and sometimes make a plan. Like, okay, so how are we going to work from this? What are we going to do?
And it's crazy because we'll tell each other the deepest of stuff that we would never like
admit.
I can't imagine another two people like saying this, the raw stuff we say sometimes.
Literally, and how we'll call one another out and we'll speak. But at the end of the day, it's like how it's a foundation of our friendship almost, and just seeing you grow from that and seeing that conscious effort. Because now I don't have to whack you every 30 seconds when we're around Fatima Zahra because of your mouth. I don't have to do it myself though as well, because you're not swearing around me, I'm not swearing around you, and we've made that. It's been a conscious journey, but I think our mouths, like the language, has definitely been like a big thing for us. Like not even just you, but for both of us.
This kind of leads to another struggle, like the responses we got from your Instagram, and another like struggle for young people, like not even young people, any practicing Muslim. Another big aspect is the company you keep.
100%.
So I mean, go ahead.
Oh my god. Okay, so where do we even start with this? We had a lot to say about this earlier, but I think we really, really underestimate the value of the people we have in our lives and our close circles. And this is something we speak about often, and how much we appreciate the people in our lives. And one of the base levels of our friendship is the truth. Like we are able to say anything and everything to one another, even if I know it might annoy Khadijah and it might hurt her a little bit. She's gonna handle it and she's gonna take it because she knows it's gonna come from a good place. But also, it's never from ill intention. But also, the company you keep is so mega important. We know that.
For your faith though, like on a real, like if your friends are not like calling you out for things that you're doing wrong, and you're not able to take that in a loving manner, like if you're not able to accept that that's out of love, then what are you doing and who are your friends?
No, for real. And like
because
when
the goal is like Jannah. Let's be real.
For real. Like together.
If your friends right now, like today, if your friends are not going to do sadaqah jariyah for you when you die, why are you friends with them?
Oh my god, that's deep.
It's true though.
That's so deep.
Because
that's coming to my funeral.
Bruv, can we not right now? But on a real, guys, the company you keep is so crucial to your faith, because at the end of the day, you are who you surround yourself with.
It's why it's a hadith. It's why it's a hadith. It's why it's taught in Islam. But also like understanding that the company you keep can really elevate you and motivate you and push you. And I can alhamdulillah say, like the people in my life, it takes a team. You said it earlier, pick your team. And I'm just going to give the greatest example. For example, like I know a lot of people are listening, and you were probably like seeing on our stories the supper club and the Palestine supper club we had. It would not have happened if I did not have the circle of people in my life. I didn't even have to ask anyone. I literally said to them, supper club's happening on this day. This is what I need you to do. And they were there. That's the kind of support and the level you need. And in terms of deen, like we remind one another. Like when we first made that, it was a conscious thing. I think it's something that if you have the close enough circle in your friend, you can, in your friendship circle, if you've got that closeness and that connection, you can actually openly admit, I missed my salah today. And that's something we will admit to one another. I miss my salah.
Then we'll like delve into it and be like, well, why did you miss your salah? Where was your mind at? Like, why did you do that? Like,
exactly.
We'll probably get to the bottom of it and like figure out like how we can like prevent that again. And it's not like this ain't no baby stuff. It's just genuinely like
reconnecting it as to why we need to do it, why we need to remind one another, and what we can do moving forward, not just like individually but for one another. Like, okay, you know what, you're struggling to wake up for Fajr. Tomorrow when I wake up for Fajr, I'm going to try and ring you and make sure you're awake. Oh, you're struggling with Asr because you're falling asleep. You know what, don't have a nap at that time. I'm going to remind you to have a coffee at a certain time so you're awake for that salah. And again, like that really goes down to another common struggle that I'm just going to really quickly bring in there is being forgiving to yourself within that. Like, and I think we've learned that within our friendship, 100%. Definitely. And again, that goes back to surrounding yourself with like the right people.
I still question myself sometimes, you know, like, because I feel like, I've lived. And it's like, am I even forgiven? Like, of course I've repented for certain things in life, and you know, but for me, sometimes I do genuinely think, I'm like, am I forgiven? Then I think back to like, if God can forgive me, who am I not to forgive myself?
For real. And
like people need to not hold on to stuff and use that as an excuse, like to not take the next step. You know?
I think we need to accept that at that point that it is our nafs that's trying to bury us and trying to not allow us to believe in ourselves. And really that also does boil down to the people you surround yourself with. I think we've spoken about this a lot. Like if I've come to you with an issue, or you've come to me with an issue, and you've just been like, or I've been like, you know what, this wasn't great, like I just can't believe it, it's going to ruin the rest of my day, everything's gone to crap, basically. Everything's gone downhill. I missed my salah today. I woke up in a bad mood. I've been upset all day. I'm just arguing with everyone. And then I have a conversation with you and we'll just hone it back in. Like you'll just bring it back in. All right, hold on. What's happened? Why did that happen? But it's okay because you know what? You still got the rest of the day to make up for that. Like to then continue in a positive way. And again, that just goes down to surrounding yourself with the right people.
100%.
And I think it's important for us to actually just remember that from young. And it's hard because a lot of us don't actually look into our friendships or even unable to tell our friends absolutely everything.
Yeah. So like in essence, for faith's sake, pick your people wisely.
100%.
For real, innit?
Yeah. I think we've got a good alhamdulillah circle.
Alhamdulillah.
You know,
give us some more stuff from
our stories.
What our Insta friends
right, let's have a look.
Because there's a couple of things we'd like to...
Definitely. Okay, so this is like a really good one. And this is applicable to like all ages, all genders, but balance between fear and love of God and how we work through that.
That's deep.
And that's definitely something that I know myself I've struggled with. And it definitely goes back to starting madrasa in a place of fear. Where my teachers would tell me and everything would
this is gonna, you're gonna go in fire, you don't have to do this.
Oh my God.
Everything was really negative.
And it gets to the point where in your adulthood, like your teenagers, you're thinking of everything. I'm going to go Jahannam for this. Oh my God, I'm not going to be able to cross that bridge. You know, like I'm going to be burnt for this because that's all we got taught, that this equates to this many sins.
Yeah.
This equates to this many sins.
But no one, like I feel like as kids, we weren't really taught about the beauty of Islam and Allah's mercy and the rest of it. So I grew up and I feel like I was rebellious because you're constantly being told you're not allowed to do this, not allowed to, everything was no, everything was negative. Yeah. So naturally, you're gonna wanna, go the opposite way.
Yeah, naturally.
And that's what happened to a lot of people I know.
No, I think it's definitely human nature.
And I think it's really, really important, no matter... Okay, yeah, a lot of us, obviously, we're born in Muslim families, alhamdulillah, but that's no excuse not to go and then relearn Islam by yourself.
Yeah, and I think...
Because we don't know nothing. Like, from madrasa, alhamdulillah, yeah, we learned how to read the Quran and stuff and, like, some basic stuff, but the majority of it, especially for our generation, it was negative.
Yeah, 100%. And this person actually added on there is, like, the more we know our creator, the less pressure we put on ourselves.
Yes.
Because really understanding our creator, obviously, goes back to understanding his 99 names, because those 99 names are the 99 characteristics.
Yeah.
If we learn them and we get to know him and we get to understand them, it does. And that really worked for me.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely just getting to know my creator really helped me lose that whole perception of so much punishment and negativity, because everything I did always came back to that fear. Like that fear of just, oh my God, if I do this, like, I'm scared now, like, oh my God. And it doesn't only go to the fear of your creator, but then that fear also spreads to like your madrasa teachers and then your teachers and anybody in power or authority above you. And I think that's what a lot of young Muslims struggle with. But alhamdulillah, what I will say is like the new madrasa systems are, for me personally, I don't know, from Fatima Zahra's perspective, have been a lot better.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know Fatima Zahra, she loves madrasa.
I was literally going to pick up on that because me as a child, like, I'm not going to lie, I didn't want to go, I didn't like going, etc. But I see the love your child has for it. So it must have changed.
She will cry. She misses, she will Skype school, but she will not Skype madrasa.
Yeah.
So I think it's definitely taken a positive light in that. But us, like, I think our generation,
we just need to relearn and just learn to love it ourselves.
Yeah,
but learn about how beautiful it actually is, because it's not all negative, but it's more positive. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know one really interesting one I just really want to touch upon, actually, and I want to talk about, finding a husband. I wonder who wrote that. Finding a husband. Shall we quickly dwell on that one, Khadijah?
I didn't say that.
No.
I'm quite happy solo, to be honest.
But one person wrote mansplaining of religion.
Okay.
So mansplaining is, explaining something for a woman, but from a man. Like, for a man to explain something for a woman, that's only applicable to women. That's something I think the whole female population sort of suffers from. We see it a lot, and I'm gonna very quickly go over the whole TikTok thing that happened quite recently. I'm actually not on TikTok
No
much.
crumbs to the men, like, don't get hearty. It's like, this is just something
But we were told not long ago that we shouldn't wear our coats on top of our abayas. We should be wearing them under our abayas, and TikTok just blew up. Now I don't know, like, so many like specific examples of mansplaining, but I can understand where that's coming from. Like that, it's frustrating for any woman to have to hear or a man tell me how I should be wearing something that's actually not applicable to you right now, especially on a public forum. Like, I don't understand where that came from. But I think misogyny and mansplaining, that's a whole different topic and something we will definitely delve into, I think, on a specific show with more time.
Yeah. But going back to, obviously, you did mention the whole spouse thing.
Yeah.
On a real though, like for the men and women listening, when it comes to spouses and stuff, obviously, I assume a lot of people have been listening to the Imam Omar Suleiman series. Yeah. And like what I learned from his show was so beautiful. It's just like marriage is like a risk. You know, you're not always guaranteed it in this life. That goes hand in hand with like marriage. So if not in this life, in the next. And I was so content with listening to that. I'm like, I'm already happy by myself, yeah.
Omar Suleiman, he just has such an amazing
He's such a vibe. It's so nice to listen to.
He actually uplifted a lot of people.
100%.
I think every time he does an episode, a lot of people are uplifted with his words and everything he said. But he's absolutely right. Like,
but the way he explains it, it's just so beautiful. And there's beauty in everything. There's beauty in everything. But yeah, for those sisters and the brothers who are struggling with spouses, just remember, if not this life, the next is guaranteed. Inshallah.
But no, I think that's definitely like a huge struggle.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know.
I feel like with times it's gone harder because, I mean, now everyone's online and doing all of that, and I'm not about that life, to be honest. No. I tried it. I'm just like, nah. I
can't do it.
I paid premium for one app and I got off it like 3 weeks later. I was like, nah, this ain't for me.
Stressful, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's not okay.
Yeah. But I mean, I think because it's hard for me. Okay, so I'm divorced.
Yeah.
I'm a single parent. So it's hard for me to always understand the whole struggle of finding a husband just because it's not always at the forefront of who I am right now. I'm not saying I've passed that lifetime or I've been there, done that, but it took me a long time to just accept that here right now, alhamdulillah, it's just us and this is what I'm meant to be.
Yeah.
So it's also hard for me to understand the perspective of like age related. I know.
Yeah, because there's expectations, especially from like our communities and stuff. Like, oh, if you're not married at so and so age, and no one's gonna want you, all of this, all of that. Brother, I might be destined someone in 20 years. Like, mind your business. Respectfully.
But it's a big thing. I mean, like people like, you know, in a lot of our community, by 25, you're married, potentially got your first child. Alhamdulillah, great for you. But the expectation for that to be applicable to everyone, I don't know. It's not realistic. It's not fair as well. And it's something that a lot of us are dealing with and facing. Yeah. And I don't know, have we like passed that expiry date? Now I'm like,
no chance. 30. This is prime time, baby. No, but on a real, it's very much about having tawakkul. Like, I fully trust my Lord and I'm just content. Whether he gives me one or doesn't, I'm just waiting for him to drop the perfect thing out the sky, you know, one of them. On a real, whatever the case, whatever's destined for me, I trust that it's the best thing for me. So whether I'm blessed with someone or not, is no crumbs. This is another thing, like you need to learn how to be happy in your own company. I feel like that is so essential. Like you can't depend on somebody else for happiness and like to feel complete, etc. Like feel that way about your Lord. And then everything else will fall into place. I'm not 100% there. Best believe I'm not preaching because I'm still on a journey. And like Saleha mentioned, learn to love your Lord. La 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 la. Astaghfirullah, I shouldn't do that. But anyway, like learn the names, learn everything. Like I'm still on that journey. So inshallah, I know.
And I think like that whole, when it comes to marriage and the expectation of people being married or having achieved certain things by a certain age and all of that, it really falls down to knowing the difference between what God expects from you and what society expects from you. And it's really like, it's hard to differentiate that. And I think that really comes with age. And it's something that I've spoken to you about, like on so many occasions, like at a certain age, your brain like will go through a chemical reaction in which will change the way in which you process information and your thoughts. Yeah, 100%. When you hit that age, and I used to say this a lot before I hit a certain age, and I've got past that age and I understand it. I understand now that my expectations are actually what Allah has expected of me, not what X, Y, and Z expects me to achieve by a certain age. I'm by no means conventional at all. Neither are you. Neither are any of our circle of friends. But we have, as a group, collectively had to accept that actually it's what my Creator expects of me, not what society expects of me. Because we're brown girls. We're outside of the norm. I've dealt with it. You've dealt with it. We've dealt with people and community having things to say about certain things.
It's very much, I feel like in our community, it's very, it's like culture and religion clash a bit. For me, it's like religion over culture any day. Like.
Yeah, 100%. And I think we came to that realization, but a lot of our community don't come to that realization.
Yeah, and it's quite sad, really. And then, but I guess it's up to us to break that cycle, our generation.
Yeah, and I think
it's like some of our parents are still very much racist, and I can't deal with that. It really.
The racism.
But it's up to us to change that. But we got listen, we're on 20 minutes. So I don't know what time we're having Mira on. What time are we having Mira on?
We're having Mira on in about 10 minutes. About 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll have her on for about the last 25 minutes.
No, I think there's 20 minutes left.
Oh, so, 20 minutes. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we should get Mira on. Yeah.
So do you want to just explain a little bit about Mira and that journey?
Mira, I met in 2019 on one of my trips to Palestine. I went for the Palestine Marathon. She was a volunteer at the time, and we literally just connected. I was stuck in the airport for like 9 hours or something ridiculous like that. I came back to the hotel, and she was just there. And we literally just connected. She became my person. She became the Palestinian version of me in that moment. And she was pretty much with us throughout the rest of the trip, throughout the rest of the journey. And she's been my sister since then. And alhamdulillah, last year I got to introduce you to Mira.
Yes, you did. She's not on yet. Okay. Well, let's talk about Palestine Marathon a little bit and that experience there, because I joined her last year, alhamdulillah, and met Mira.
Yes, you did.
What a beautiful soul.
Alhamdulillah.
She's such a vibe.
You know, if it wasn't for Mira, I wouldn't have the love and connection with Palestine that I have now. And I think that's definitely applicable to everyone that's been to Palestine with me and that's come, not with me necessarily, but that have been there with me and have met Mira and just understood her hospitality, the loving nature of her family and her knowledge of the land and everything that she has to say from it and the things that she can show us and the food that she can feed us, etc. But Mira is an amazing, amazing soul. Really, I wanted to get her on just so we have a different perspective of life under occupation during a war. It's very different for people that come from Jerusalem, for people that are not in Gaza. And I think I just needed to hone in to what's happening in other parts of Palestine and also inspire everyone to research and look outside of what we normally know of Palestine and what we're seeing in the post, etc. So yeah, alhamdulillah. And I think when I came back from my first trip and us two had all of those conversations and you were just like, Salah,
I was just inspired. And the opportunity came to me, alhamdulillah, last year. We went with a charity and a space just came about. So alhamdulillah, I was able to go, and I'm so glad I did, because had I didn't, I wouldn't have come till today.
Yeah,
so
I know.
Alhamdulillah, what an experience, and it's such a beautiful land, and it's like the people are so amazing, and they appreciate the fact that you just go and you go and see them, and you go to
that's all they want.
You go pray, and you go, they just don't want people to forget that they exist.
Literally it.
And it's really sad. We're gonna get her on in a few minutes anyway, but let's just talk about the situation in Palestine, like right now, and like how people. How we're dealing with it anyway. I think it's very it's a lot.
To find the words is really, really hard. We have this conversation often. It's inspired a lot of deep conversations from us, a lot of tears.
Especially because we've been so recently,
and to put the two and two together for us is not connecting, because it's honestly heartbreaking to see that I think we all obviously feel the heartbreak. We all see the stories coming out. We all see the pain and the destruction. And I think one of my main objectives really when I talk about Palestine and when I talk about the situation is just to get everyone to really love the land and the people for their history and their culture, and just really expanding our knowledge, because this is the time. I was just going
to say, educate yourself enough to be able to answer any question anyone throws at you.
100%. We are going to be having for the foreseeable future,
inshallah,
we will be having some deep conversations with Muslims and non-Muslims specifically. And I have on the school run, I will have parents come to me and have this conversation and start talking to me about what's happening, and they'll ask random questions. And for us, these questions might sound so basic, but in the moment, on that spot, you really have to be well equipped to answer them. Like one of the most common ones is, so what's actually happening? How are you going to explain that in a sentence? And how are you going to explain that unless you really, really know and understand the land in a way that someone who doesn't know anything is going to understand from you? And going to Palestine and meeting Mira, meeting her friends, last year.
Family and the project her dad
is
does.
Involved in. So her father runs a youth club in Silwan, which is a neighborhood in Jerusalem, and they have played they have trophies that are older than the occupation. He has them sitting in his cabinet.
Guys, we have Mira ready with us, I think. Where is she? Where's Mira?
I'm really excited. Sorry, guys. I know I just cried.
Hi, assalamu alaikum, Mira. Where is she?
Assalamu alaikum.
Oh,
I'm right over here, girl.
I can hear you.
Can we see her?
Can we see her?
No, you can't see me.
Oh, a Jayik.
Wait. I have no idea. A Jackie.
Oh, a Jackie. Sorry.
Jackie. No, girl, I'm still using a gem, whatever that means, but I'm still using it.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum, Mira. Salam, Habibti. How are you?
How are you guys?
Alhamdulillah.
How are you?
Happy to hear from you.
Wallahi, I miss you guys so much.
Oh my God, stop.
We miss you too, baby. Baby girl, we miss you. I just love her. I love her so much. I can't even put this into words, everyone. If it wasn't for Mira, I wouldn't be as passionate as I am now, 100%, hands down. She has taught me and shown me so much more than I would have ever been able to gain in any other way. And really, one of the reasons I got Mira on here today is, again, Mira... I know what I'm going to ask you, because I ask you this all the time, and I'm finding it really hard to ask you this question without actually breaking into tears. But Mira, what you tell me, Mira? What is life like at the moment for you? Life under occupation during a war, and it must be so disorienting to be in a war but not in a war, if that makes sense.
Yeah. First of all, I want to just say thank you so much, Saleha and Khadijah, for having me. And honestly, my heart just broke. I can't see you like this sad and this teared up. It breaks my heart. And wallahi, big love and big hugs from here. Okay, so I don't know where to start, actually. This is like so complex and so layered. Yeah. Both of you came to Silwan, to Jerusalem, and you met my family, my friends, and also you saw the way that where we live and all of that. And both of you and the other group that was here, like, you could feel the atmosphere and feel how things seem to be and how things are.
It's okay, take your time.
Take your time.
Intense, because today was like very intense for me, because things are really escalating in a really bad way here in Jerusalem and in Palestine. So people are saying and that there might be a bigger war coming up at the end of April.
Like expanding outside of Gaza?
Yeah, to the north. Here. So people are just like freaking out, and they like everything is misled and misunderstood and misinterpreted, and people are just like ducks who their heads are like cutting up, and they're just running around in circles, not knowing what to do and not knowing what to feel. Especially here in Jerusalem, it's so complex because you basically live under the occupation, and you can see them walking. You can see the IDF, you can see the soldiers, you can see basically you're ruled by the Israeli government. So, and you know how Palestinians who live in Jerusalem, they don't actually have an ID whatsoever. So you're just a citizen that you have like not a permanent residency. So anytime you become a bad citizen in their eyes, they can just literally take your ID and you have nowhere to go. Like, even if you want to go to the West Bank, you won't have anything, because also like the Palestinian Authority won't give you like an ID, and you won't even have an Israeli ID because you're not an Israeli. So people who live in Palestinians who are living in Jerusalem have it really hard.
And is that because you won't accept the Israeli passport, just to confirm? So you'll only take the ID card and you refuse to take the passport?
Exactly.
Okay.
And of course, no one would ever accept it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So you don't have any choice.
And Mira, would you say since October 7th, would you say it's worse? Would you say it's worse than what we know it? I mean, I've dealt with the soldiers, people that I've met have told me the stories, etc. And you'd say it's worse since October 7th?
For sure, it's worse. It's more, like I said, it's getting more complex and brutal. If you even try to walk funny, even like before October 7th, even if you try to walk funny or you're just minding your own business, you're gonna like get strapped and beaten up. But after October 7th, everything is becoming more intense and more brutal. People are very scared here in Jerusalem, very, very scared. Like this month is the holy month of Ramadan, and Saleha, you were here last year, and you saw how Ramadan is in Jerusalem. Now people are not even not even in the streets. People are so scared to go outside.
It's such a shame.
That is really sad. To put into perspective, guys, in Ramadan, Jerusalem is lit up. You know how you see Evington Road on every day after Tarawih? I see you all when I'm driving down to quickly get my cup of tea. That is the entire of Jerusalem. Old city, outside of the old city, by the Damascus Gate, Bab al-Amud, all of the gates are just surrounded by people just enjoying the atmosphere. And Mira, one thing I've really struggled with on our last conversation, I hope you don't mind, but on our last conversation, you mentioned to me about your job, and I want to delve into that, because for me, I cannot comprehend the fact that you just explain to us, and then the end result of this conversation, I'm sure a lot of people will be as shocked as I am to understand the layers and the complexities of the occupation.
So basically, like I said, Palestinians who live in Jerusalem, they don't have a choice. Like most of the job owners are Israelis, and you have no option. You need to work. So I used to work in a Palestinian tourism guide, but October 7th happened, and I got fired. And
what, for being Palestinian?
Tourism, so
that's
yeah,
it,
he was
flat out.
Palestinian. Yeah, he was Palestinian, and he was like, listen, you see how things are. There's no work, there's nothing, so yeah, khalas, bye-bye. So I got fired from that job, and so I started applying for other jobs here in Jerusalem. And basically, like I said, you can't find a decent job that's gonna like help you survive and feed your family. Most of them are just Israeli jobs, and I took a job that is based here, but it's American, Jewish Americans. So basically, everything's so complex. Like,
Can we just
most of the workers are Palestinians.
Just stop for 1 second, and I just need to repeat the fact that Palestinians are having to work for American Jewish companies as their call center staff. The layers in which the occupation has infiltrated the lives of Palestinians is beyond insane. And every time we speak, Mira, we'll have another discussion about another way in which that has happened. You know, last year when we came and I was speaking to one of your friends who was a social worker, and she was explaining to me the layers in which are just in the social system itself. And, you know, never in a million years would you ever expect, during a war of this scale in which America are arming the most and giving the most amount of money and supporting the most, they're now forcing Palestinians to work for them on American hours.
I think it's just mocking it. It's completely mocking it.
It is.
I just don't even know what to say. I don't have anything appropriate to say right now, so I'm just gonna...
You know, I'm sorry, Mira, I don't want to have to like delve into your trauma and I don't want to end this conversation on a bad note. So I really, really want to delve into what do you see as your... I don't want to sit here and be like glimmer of hope, but what is there for you, Mira? Like, what do you see from this? Like, life beyond this, what does Mira see?
Well, I honestly don't see anything. Sometimes I just like gaze upon nothing and just like, okay, what now? What is my plan? What should I do? Like, there's a part of me that, oh, khalas Mira, you know, you deserve to find a better life, a better future. You deserve to live like any other person in this world. But there's another part of me that's like, no, you can't just abandon this place and just leave. This is your people, this is your land. You have to stay. Just your existence here without doing anything is just me fighting for my country.
Existence is resistance, right?
Yeah,
that must be like so difficult though. Imagine like having to choose out of the two, knowing that one was probably better for you for the hereafter, and then the other is just like in this life. I find that so conflicting. Like I can't believe it. Like
it happened. My friend, before October 7th, she literally like days before it, she moved to Canada. Wow. You remember her?
Yeah. She was the lawyer.
She's in panic, like, what the fuck, why did I fucking leave?
Oh,
like,
no swearing, sorry, Mira.
Oh, sorry guys. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, why did I leave? I don't know. She like, we have this trauma. Even if we try to find a better place for us, we feel that we shouldn't be happy. We shouldn't try to find a better solution for us, a better life. We should always stay here and just like not. It's not like misery loves company or whatever that word is. But khalas, it's just like it's rooted with us that we have to stay here. We have to fight in any way possible, even if we're going through genocide, even if we're under occupation, even if our houses are getting demolished, even whatever. We have to stay here no matter what happens. We have to stay because this is the only thing that separates us from them. Because every time anything happens, a small war, a small attack, whatever, they flee. You should see the airports. They flee, and us, we would be like on the rooftops, just whistling and screaming. And yeah, this is the difference between us. We are willing to die for our land, and they're just like, okay.
It's very much like that quote, isn't it? The land you have to kill for is not your land, but the land you die for is.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Exactly. And I think, Mira, you touched upon a really good point there where even if you're not there, your heart is still in Palestine. And I think how you put it to me in our last conversation, even if you go to Jordan just for a couple of days, the breakdowns you experience within that, because your mind cannot comprehend that you can walk down the street in a normal manner and be safe. Imagine having that complex. Like,
that's so crazy, because over here, what do we think about? Like,
nothing. You can walk. I can walk on the street right now. Nothing's going to happen. But for a Palestinian,
it's insane.
You're born with that trauma. It's not like you're born and then you're put into a war.
So
and
they don't know any different. But that, as a fact, is really disgusting.
It's a general trauma. Like, these things really happen to me. Like, stupid stuff. Like I said, I go to Jordan a lot. So the last visit I had, I was wearing my kufiyya, and I went inside a mall, and then I was like, damn, I'm wearing a kufiyya. I'm gonna get arrested. I'm gonna get beaten. I don't know what's gonna happen to me right now. And then like, stop, oh girl, you're in Jordan. Nobody's looking at you. Nobody cares. Just do your thing and walk. So these kind of stuff just carries with you. Also, a lot of my friends have experienced something like that. Just hearing fireworks, just doing whatever. They will freak out and be like, okay, who got shot? What happened? What's going on? Is there a shaheed?
I remember this every time. So last Ramadan, I was just there, and any little noise, everyone is on alert. And you know what's even crazier, Mira? The fact that your family can recognize what's happening by each noise.
Exactly.
Any knock, any bang.
Imagine not knowing any different though. I find it even more bizarre that me and you both look at the same damn sky. Like, how is this happening? I can't understand. Like, I don't understand.
Literally, we look at the same sky.
We look at the same sky. We breathe the same air, bro. Like, I just don't understand. Mira, a quick question though, because like, obviously there's a lot of us who are not there, obviously, who feel quite helpless. What can we do? Like, from a Palestinian's point of view, like, what would you like us to see? What would you like us to do? Like, what can we do?
Honestly, just posting about it has made such a difference.
Yeah.
Just talking about it has made such a difference. Like I said, we're just humans, me and you, and the people who are watching. Like, we can't actually do anything. Our governments are just, I want to swear, but I can't. But
I hear you. Me too.
Yeah. So just talking about it and just screaming about it in the streets is doing so much for us. And I really appreciate every person that goes out every Saturday and marches for us. Every person that posts for us. Every person that talks about us. I don't know. This is the only thing right now that's making a difference in just warming our hearts. We feel seen this time. People are reading
you
more
are
about
like
it.
you definitely are
Like people are now recognizing that this didn't start at October 7th. This started way before. So yeah, just keep talking about us, guys, until.
So guys, you heard her. Like, don't go silent. Like, I know like a lot of people have slowed down a little bit and are a bit more quiet about it, but it hasn't stopped and it's not going to stop. So we need to carry on until it does, really and truly. Like, people keep posting, keep sharing, keep telling your colleagues, you know, especially non-Muslims who just don't even have a clue. Like, they just don't have a clue.
Keep learning. I think that's...
educate yourself as well.
Like, I think it's very important for everyone to keep learning and keep educating themselves, because we need 100%. To be well equipped with these conversations. You know, alhamdulillah, Mira, I have you. Khadijah, we have Mira.
Yeah.
We have someone that's there. That's
Mira, sorry, I hear you're joining Saleha's book club. I'm very excited. Gang.
Yes, inshallah, after Ramadan. So,
I'm just waiting for the link.
Yeah, no, we have so many exciting things, guys, honestly, just to keep everybody motivated and passionate about Palestine. And I've expressed this so many times, and I've told Mira so many times, I just want people to love the land as much as I do, because this fight that we're fighting, it needs to come from a place of passion. But it needs to come...
It's also all of our fight.
It's all of our fight.
It's all of our fight. It's not just Palestinians, it's the Ummah's fight.
Yeah, literally.
Like, they need to wake up. Like, I'm ready for jihad, bro.
We're ready, Mira. We have considered. Believe us when we say that.
I honestly encourage every person, just come.
Yeah, that's why I said it earlier. Like, they just appreciate you visiting. Like, just go.
Just go, experience it. Go outside the norm. That's one of the biggest things. Mira, I'm so blessed to have you in that respect. You showed me and my daughter so much more than I could have gained on any other experience. Like, just coming into your home and eating makhluba made by your mother's hands, coming into your kitchen every day for iftar and learning all of the traditions and learning this food and understanding why this food means so much. Because a lot of people don't realize that the ingredients that Palestinians use are banned in so many areas. So the fact that they have these ingredients and are able to still cook with them, and us using them, is a way of resistance. Us showing and sharing the love for the culture, us learning about the culture, is a huge way of resistance. And I think it's so important. Don't stop sharing. Don't stop posting. And in light of book club, actually, talking about it, we are going to touch upon it very quickly, but in ways in which we want to encourage people to be involved and to be part of something for a bigger, better cause, and to encourage conversations, namely, we do have a book club. Mira will be joining, inshallah. If you follow us on Insta, we will definitely be keeping everyone updated. It is Fi Amal pages. But
and we're trying to base it just on like Palestinian books.
Yes, it's all Palestinian literature by Palestinian authors. And we go through timelines, we go through history, and we just have conversations you're not always able to have. And you can't always ask people for. And alhamdulillah, we have Mira. Also,
that's going to be so good.
Mira also introduced me to one of my favorite bookstores as well. I spent a ridiculous amount of time in that bookstore, Mira, but it's still one of my favorite, alhamdulillah. But also, Mira, I know that you love food, and you've discovered a new love of cuisine. And we really, really want to quickly just say, past like Supper Club and the Supper Club we had recently, Mira is going to be working very soon on a recipe journal, which people can inshallah look into, purchase. All the money will go to causes that'll help Palestinians directly, inshallah. So there's loads of motivating things, and Mira, really want to thank you. Really, really want to thank you. We're gonna have to
thank you, Mira. Oh my god,
I love you guys.
This is like bittersweet. Can we speak again soon, please?
Send my love and all of my prayers to your family, and we will speak soon. I'll catch up with you straight after, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam alaikum. Good night,
Salam,
guys.
Mira.
Bye.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, next time again, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Salam alaikum. Bye bye.
Alaikum salam. Oh,
it's like bittersweet.
That is really bittersweet,
Oh,
guys.
I love her so much.
I really do.
We need to go ASAP. We do. Inshallah.
Girls trip, guys. Who's coming?
Well, guys, this has been a lot. It's like it was like high pitched and it got a bit deep, and then I'm just like I'm in my feels right now. But guys, anyway, thank you so much for listening to us. I guess I hope you enjoyed.
And also, really thank you for all the interaction that we had and the feedback.
We had a lot of people sending stuff through Instagram. So alhamdulillah, thank you so much. You might hear from us again, inshallah. Let's see, who knows. But guys, don't forget, Ramadan FM will continue broadcasting 24/7 throughout the year on DAB channel 9B. So stay tuned and online, of course. But yeah, no, it's been great. We hope it's been insightful. And inshallah, maybe we'll speak to you again. Who knows? Time will tell. Assalamu alaikum.